Hey all, hello and welcome, TonyBing here. For this Marvel Heroes Guide video, the plan was to do a list of the top 10 universal synergies in the game. So these are synergies that you can unlock that would really apply to all heroes, because a lot of the synergies have very specific damage tags now. So for example, if you look at Wolverine, he has claw damage, and there's very few heroes that actually have that damage tag. But there's a few synergies out there that can be used on the majority of heroes. Now, as mentioned, the plan was to do the top 10 universal synergies. Looking through them, there's not actually as many as that in the game at the moment that can be used universally. So this will be a rather random top 7 universal synergies for Marvel Heroes Omega. So let's check them out. The first synergy we have here then is for Black Widow. So this offers 2% melee power damage and also 2% ranged power damage. Now, I've chosen this because 90% of heroes, if not more, will have most of their skills either tagged as melee or ranged. There's a few that may only have, for example, the area tag, but the vast majority will have either melee or ranged. For that reason, this makes the top 7. Next synergy we have is for Blade, and this provides health on hit and also attack speed. Now, the health on hit scales as you level. When you reach level 60, you'll be gaining 49 health on actual hit. It's not the highest amount, but it does add up when you've got this on your catalyst and from other sources. So every little bit you can get from this does help. The 3% attack speed is nice. One thing to be wary of is attack speed has diminishing returns, so if you're getting pretty high on that, you may want to drop this synergy, but until you get to the point where you're in the region of roughly 25 to 30% attack speed, you'll still be getting a nice amount out of this. Now, the next synergy we have, this is for Daredevil. So this provides 3% damage versus normals and elites, so that'll be enemies that either have the blue or yellow colouring to them, and also the 2% melee power damage. Now, of course, not every hero will have the melee power damage tag, but the 3% is actually a nice amount to gain damage wise against a lot of enemies in the game. And the game isn't always purely about boss rushing anymore, because you have bounties and operations, and you also have shield supply boosts as well, and you've got, I suppose, treasure rooms on top of that. So doing extra damage to normals or elites is always welcome. We then have a synergy for one of my favourite characters, Hawkeye. So 2% movement speed. I do like movement speed because we no longer have infinite dashes. Anything that allows us to move quicker normally, I do rate that quite highly. On top of that, we have 3% critical damage. Now, this particular synergy actually used to be useless because the critical damage would only apply to critical hits, but it's since been changed. The critical damage applies to any critical hits. If you brute, you also gain the 3% damage as well. So thankfully, if you're bruting, you're not missing out. So it does make this most definitely worthwhile using. Next up, we have the Hulk synergy, which is a nice simple one, but really very useful. In total, it's 6% health. This will be base health because it won't be 6% of your actual total, because that could potentially provide a huge amount. But even 6% base health is pretty nice for a single synergy slot. We then have another Hulk, and this particular one would be She-Hulk. So she has the 3% base health. On top of that, she has 0.25% health regen a second. So this is based on how much health you have. So as the game goes on and your health pool gets larger, this will become more useful. So I do like this one a lot. And finishing up here, we have synergy number 7, which would be Squirrel Girl. So a lot of people may not like to level her, but it is most definitely worthwhile doing for her synergy. It's 4% damage versus bosses in total, so that's a nice amount. A lot of damage synergies offer you in the region of 2%, 3%. To get a full 4% on bosses, you really can't miss out on this, even if you're not a fan of her, sorry to say. Now, I hope this video was useful. It was just a quick one, but I'll be looking to do more videos like this in future, covering smaller aspects of the game that pros may know, but new players may not be actually too up to speed on. So, as always, hope this was useful, and I'll see you all again soon.